No one noticed the cleaner when he pushed his cart into the boardroom. To them, he was just another invisible man in a gray uniform, moving quietly along the walls. But in less than 5 minutes, a single sentence from his mouth would stop the most powerful person in the building cold, and in that moment, everyone in the room would realize how wrong they had been about kindness, respect, and the people they choose to overlook every single day. Before we dive into this story, take a quick second to subscribe, like, and comment if stories about kindness and unexpected moments inspire you. This helps the channel grow and allows us to keep sharing meaningful stories like this. You're watching Kindness Story Hub, and we're glad you're here. The company was one of the biggest tech firms in the country. Glass walls, polished floors, and a view of the city that made visitors feel small the moment they stepped inside. Executives walked fast, assistants followed closely, and everyone seemed permanently glued to their phones. The cleaner's name was Kenji, though no one there knew that. Most people simply called him Hey or didn't address him at all. He worked the early mornings and late evenings, wiping fingerprints off glass doors and emptying trash cans filled with discarded coffee cups and half-finished plans. Kenji had learned early on not to take it personally. Back home, his father used to say, "A quiet life is still a valuable one." Kenji carried those words with him as he mopped floors and nodded politely to people who never nodded back. That morning, the boardroom was buzzing with tension. The CEO, Mr. Harrison, had flown in from New York for a high-stakes meeting with potential Japanese investors. This deal could expand the company into Asia and make headlines across the industry, but there was a problem. The interpreter they had hired was stuck at the airport due to a delayed flight. Emails were flying. Assistants whispered urgently. Mr. Harrison stood at the head of the table, irritation written all over his face. "We can't mess this up," he snapped. "This deal is too important." Kenji quietly entered the room, pushing his cleaning cart. No one acknowledged him. He moved carefully, trying not to disturb the tense atmosphere, wiping a small coffee spill near the corner. The Japanese delegation arrived right on time. They were polite, well-dressed, and calm, bowing slightly as they entered. Mr. Harrison greeted them with a confident smile, though it was clear he was nervous. The meeting began in English, with awkward pauses and confused looks. The visitors spoke softly among themselves in Japanese, and the gap in understanding grew wider by the minute. Mr. Harrison tried to push through, speaking louder, as if volume could replace clarity. The room felt tight, uncomfortable, like everyone was holding their breath. Kenji stood near the door, pretending to adjust his cart. He listened without meaning to. The Japanese executives were expressing concern. They felt rushed. Disrespected. They were questioning whether this company truly valued partnership or just profit. Kenji's hands tightened around the handle of the cart. He hadn't spoken Japanese professionally in years. But it was his first language. He grew up in Osaka, studied business there before life took a turn he never expected. Family illness. Immigration struggles. Degrees that didn't transfer. Jobs that paid the bills but didn't match his past. He told himself it wasn't his place. Then he heard one of the Japanese executives quietly say something that made his chest ache. "They do not see us," the man said. "They do not listen." Kenji took a breath, softly, respectfully. He spoke. "Excuse me, sir," he said in clear, fluent Japanese. "They are worried the partnership may not be built on mutual respect. They feel rushed and unheard." The room went completely silent. Mr. Harrison turned so fast his chair scraped loudly against the floor. His eyes locked onto Kenji like he was seeing him for the first time. You speak Japanese?" the CEO asked. Kenji bowed slightly, his heart pounding. "Yes, sir." The Japanese executive stared in shock, then smiled with visible relief. For the next 20 minutes, Kenji translated calmly and carefully. He didn't embellish. He didn't take sides. He simply helped both groups understand each other. The tension dissolved. Smiles appeared. Nods replaced frowns. When the meeting ended, the Japanese delegation bowed deeply to Kenji. "Thank you," one of them said. "You showed us great kindness today." After they left, the boardroom stayed quiet. Mr. Harrison cleared his throat. "Kenji, is it?" he said, reading the name tag he'd never noticed before. "Why didn't anyone know this?" Kenji shrugged gently. "No one ever asked." That sentence hit harder than any accusation could have. Later that day, Mr. Harrison asked Kenji to sit down with him. Not as an employee standing awkwardly by the door, but as an equal at the table, Kenji shared his story. His education. His journey. The way life sometimes pushes good people into invisible corners. Mr. Harrison listened. Really listened. The next week, Kenji's job title changed. He was offered a role as a cultural consultant, with pay and respect to match his skills. But more importantly, something else changed too. Mr. Harrison sent out a company-wide message. He wrote about the cleaner who saved the biggest deal of the year. About how easy it is to overlook people. About how kindness starts with simple acknowledgement. After that, people began saying good morning to the cleaning staff. They learned names. They smiled. Some even stopped to talk. Kenji noticed the difference most in the small moments. A cup of coffee left for him with a thank you note. A door held open. A genuine "How are you today?" Years later, Kenji would say the promotion mattered. But what mattered more was being seen. Kindness didn't come from grand speeches or expensive programs. It came from noticing the human being standing right in front of you, and for everyone in that room, the lesson stayed with them long after the deal was signed. You never know what stories, talents, or hearts are hidden behind the people you overlook. So today, look up. Smile. Be kind, because sometimes, a single moment of respect can change a life, including your own.